We want participants in the Precision Medicine Initiative to tell us what they think is the right way to share information. That's one example. We don't really quite know. Do people want to have information about their genomes? Do they want to have information about the whole thing, which may be kind of hard to understand because we don't understand it either? Do they just want the bits and pieces that are actionable? How do they want that to be returned to them, and how much information do they need to have coming with that in order to make sense out of it? This is sort of a snapshot of where we want to go in general for the whole population, but now we want to learn from them about what works and what doesn't. We want to learn from them what they find to be useful and not useful when it comes to these wearable sensors that are all over the place now, but most of which haven't really been tested to see if they improve outcomes and if patients or participants actually like using them or just throw them away after the first week. We need to have their input on that. And I think we need them to tell us in an even broader sense, what are the most important questions to ask? If you have 1 million participants engaged, how much of the focus should be on prevention? How much should be on management of chronic disease? What kinds of questions are on their minds? And when we undertake some sort of a trial, let's be sure we're asking for their reported outcomes, not just the things that the researchers think are important, because they're not always the same. When we were designing the overall plan for the precision medicine cohort, the group that did this design had on it very significant representation from participants who were themselves advocates for disease, but not themselves people who were doing bench research. Brave Patrick Lake was the co-chair of this effort as a patient advocate. Very thoughtful and not a pushover in any way. Many times she said, "Excuse me, you researchers, do you think you know it all? You don't. Let me tell you what you really ought to be considering in this part of the design." And now we have an advisory panel that is actually going to review everything about this cohort. That has roughly 40% of the members are in fact participant representatives from a wide variety of backgrounds and different ethnicities and different socioeconomic strata. So they are in a very significant place to steer the enterprise. And anything that we're going to do, any grantee that we have solicited as a possible applicant to this effort, they're on notice that their grant application has to include substantial patient participation, otherwise it's not responsive.